Hey guys, it's DuctTapeSusie, and I'm going to do a tutorial for you guys on my beaded bracelets. I get so many questions on how I do my beads since they are so different than everybody else's on YouTube. So basically this is kind of what they look like. Anyways, the things you're going to need is a ruler, an X-Acto knife, scissors, some duct tape, some pony beads or any kind of beads that you have lying around your house. And if you don't want to use beads, you can just double the tutorial up to make all duct tape beads. And then also you're going to need some sort of string. I do not have the stretchy string, but I've used this lots of times and it works just as good. And as you can see in this bracelet, it doesn't stretch, but it still slides over your hand with ease. So if you don't have stretchy string, you can use something like this. I also got some stretchy string on a jewelry kit that I bought a long time ago. And then you're wondering what else you're going to need. You're going to need a straw. Well, most people use the big straws, and that's why their beads turn out humongous and gaudy. Well, I like the smaller beads, so I like to use a smaller straw. This straw right here is off from a juice pouch. I like to recycle juice pouches. I get them for my niece and nephews. And all I do with the pouches is cut the bottom, pour it into a jug, and then rinse out those and keep the straws for my duct tape beads. And then I use the pouches to make purses with, or wallets, or whatever. So anyways, if you don't have a juice pouch straw, you can also use a coffee stirrer. I'm pretty sure it's got about the same. I cut off this end of the wrapper so you can kind of see how little the hole is. So if you have a coffee stirrer with the size of hole like that, you can use that, or if you have something else similar to that, you can use it. So that is it, and let's get started. I will show you once again how to make these duct tape beaded bracelets. Okay, so to get started, you're going to need 2 strips of tape that is 10 inches in length. And when you place it down on your cutting mat or cutting board, you want to don't put it right at the top of the line. Put the strip in between the 2 lines. You have a little gap at the bottom, a little gap at the top. And you're also going to need, if you're using like your pony beads or any other kind of beads, you're going to need at least 11 of those, 10 or 11. So to get started, you're going to take your ruler, and I'm going to show you very quickly, or try to do your first bead. Maybe I should do it backwards so you can kind of see it this way. You're going to take your ruler at the very corner over here, and then you're going to take the other end at the 1/2 inch mark. I'm not sure if you can even see that, but there's a 1/2 inch mark on my board here. So you have one at the other end, the corner, and then one at the 1/2 inch mark. And then you're going to cut that. And then for the next one, you're just going to move your ruler up to the 1/2 inch mark. So now it should be straight across to the 1/2 inch mark. As you can see, there's no slant. And you're going to cut again. Now you're going to take this end down here, and you're going to raise it up a 1/2 inch and cut. So you, once again, your ruler is at a slant. You don't move the one end, just the other end. So now you're going to take it back up a 1/2 inch. So now your ruler should be straight at a 1/2 inch straight across. And now you're going to raise this end down here, leaving the other end straight down there. You're just going to raise this one up a 1/2 inch. So once again, it's on a slant. Then you're going to take your other end down here, right up to the 1/2 inch mark, and once again, your ruler should be straight. I'm not sure if you can see that, but then you're going to cut. Now you're going to take your ruler once again down at this end over here. You're going to raise it up to the 1/2 inch mark, or which in this case would be the end of your tape. And you're going to cut it. So it's on a slant. So now that you cut that last piece on a slant, the very other piece is already cut in a slant. So if it would make it any easier for you, another way that you could do this is take your strip and cut it in a 1/2 inch. Peel it off, and then cut it on an angle. I will show you with this strip. So I'm just going to take my ruler up to the 1/2 inch mark, cut it straight across, peel it up so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So as you can see, this is just a straight strip, but you need it on an angle in order to create that bead. So you would just take this ruler and go from the one end down there, the end of your corner of your duct tape right here. You'd put your ruler, and then you're going to place your ruler at the other corner at the very top. So it should be on an angle. And there you go. Now you have 2 duct tape beads, as you can see here. Well, not beads yet, but the strips that you need to make your beads. So as you can see, you have the 2 strips for your beads. If it's easier, you can do it that way with the rest of that piece of tape. But for me, it's easier just to go this way, and the faster you catch on to it, the faster you get it done. So once again, if you'd rather do it the way I showed you the first time, I will show you again how to do that. You place your ruler at the corner of your tape down here, and you raise up your opposite end over here up to a 1/2 inch. You cut. Now you're going to leave this end of the ruler down here where it's at. You're just going to raise this end up to the 1/2 inch mark. And cut straight across. And now you're going to alternate. You're going to hold this end of the ruler down, raise your other end up a 1/2 inch, cut, raise this end back up to a 1/2 inch, and now it's a straight across, cut, raise this end up a 1/2 inch, which would be the end of your tape, and you cut. And there you go. Now you should have a total of 16 strips, which you're going to use to make your beads. So you should have 16 of these little strips. You're not going to need all 16. You're only going to need 10 to 11 of them. And you're also going to want to get your other beads out, which I have 11 of those. I will come right back and I will show you how to add it to your straw. Okay, so I already have 3 of them on my straw, but I'm going to show you really quickly how you add them on if you don't know already. If you've already made duct tape beads before, you already know how to do all of this. So you just take the fat end of the strip of tape, and I try to place it right close to my bead so I don't lose much straw space. And all you're going to do is roll it. Roll the straw while holding the strip of tape. That's what is easiest for me, and you're going to try to keep it centered at all times. And as you'll see, your strip gets smaller and smaller, and then you'll end up getting like these I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a little lines on the sides here, and you're just going to keep doing that, wrapping it around. So then you'll end up with a bead like that. So I'll show you with another one. You take the fat end of the strip, place it close to your other bead. You just stick it, whoops, that's a little too close. So you just stick it at the end of your straw and you roll it. Roll your straw with one hand while you're holding the strip with your other, trying to keep it in the center. And if you mess up and you don't keep it in the center and your bead doesn't look really cool, then you can just unroll it and redo it. So you're going to continue to do this with all of your strips of tape until all of them are beaded, or rolled, I should say. And then you're just going to cut them off your straw, which I will show you in just a second. And I can't seem to get that one centered. It's really difficult trying to do it through the camera, but so you kind of get the idea. I'll show you, you just take your scissors and you cut off your end of your straw and you cut off your bead. And I tried to cut off a little bit of the tape as well. That way you don't see your straw at the end of your bead. And so as you can see, you already have one bead. And you're just going to keep, after you have all of your your strips rolled into beads, you're just going to cut them all off like that, and come back and I'll show you how to string them on. Okay, so once you have those rolled and cut, you should have a total of 16 of your duct tape beads. If you're going to be doing just duct tape beads and not with the pony beads, you're going to need more, so make sure that you do that ×2 or ×3. Well, not ×3, but you might need only like 3 strips of the 10-inch instead of 4. Since you get 16 beads, you really only need 11. So whatever you have left over, you can just put in a bag and save and use it with another bracelet or whatever. So now you get out your string. I'm using this string I got at, I think it was at Dollar Store. It's a craft lace because they don't have any stretchy string, but this stuff works just as well. So you're just going to start putting your beads on. So I like to alternate. I'll do one of the duct tape bead, one of the pony beads, and yeah, you kind of get the idea. Whoops. And it's a lot easier if you do use the stretchy string because it's stretchy and it's not as thick to fit in your straw. But I'm not having any problems with it, so. And you also might want to check your how many beads you need according to what size of bracelet you're making. The bracelet I'm making, since it's not stretchy, it fits my wrist, and I think I have like a 7 or a 7.5 inch wrist. So yeah, you're just going to continue stringing them until you feel like it is big enough. And if you're using a stretchy cord, you probably don't need to use as many beads. I like to make sure that, sorry, my battery is dying. I like to make sure that my bracelet is nice and full, so when someone stretches it over their arm, it's not going to leave empty spaces. Let's see how we're doing. Here is some of the other bracelets that I made recently. I'll leave those lying there. And I just kind of try to do like a comparison. And as you can see, I'm going to need more. My string is not stretchy, so I have to move it down. So depending on the size of your beads, it really depends on how many you need. I kind of just, I don't really count. I just normally put them on until I think it's plenty, which I think that is about a perfect size. So you can see it's about the same size. So as you can see here, I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11 of the duct tape beads and 11 of the pony beads. And so all you do after that is tie up your end, and if depending on the string you're using, you're going to want to tie it as many times as possible just to make sure that it's nice and secure. I would say 6, 10 times. It really matters. It doesn't matter as long as you have it nice and tight. Another thing you can do, which I do not suggest if you're under the age of 18, is burn your ends. That will also stop it from coming undone, like with a stretchy cord. But with this, since this is a much thicker, I'm not going to tie it in a knot as many times, and for sake of showing you guys, I'm just going to leave it like that. And as you can see, it fits nicely. I really like the pig's fly and the pink. So like I said, I have a 7.5 inch wrist, and I can slip it over my hand. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty nice, and you still have some spare beads for maybe another bracelet, or if you're using them for earrings or whatever you choose to do. So that is it. I hope that you found this tutorial helpful. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can either comment down below, send me a message in my inbox, or you can email me at ducttapesusie@gmail.com, or you can kick me, which is also ducttapesusie, but capital D, capital T, capital S. You kind of get the idea there. So there's your bracelet. And I hope you have fun making these and selling them, and I wish you all the luck. Thanks for watching, guys. And remember, if you liked the video and it was helpful, don't forget to like. And if you're not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials. See you guys soon. Bye.